On this short stack, we're taking a look at Doom Patrol number 3. I'm going to tell you if it's any good in 5 minutes or less. Spoilers, it is. Doom Patrol number 3 is by the soon-to-be award-winning team of Gerard Way and Nick Derington. And it opens up right where number 2 left off, where Casey has entered Dannyland. Dannyland is like a super advanced form of Danny the Street. And Flex, he mentions that Danny was a street, then he became a world, and now he's a world that lives inside the cabaret, inside the ambulance. It's wonderful and weird and wacky and cool. But in this issue, we actually learn who Casey is. And Casey is Danny, because everyone around him and in him, Danny's now been able to create life. He's creating human beings in their own way, which is why the Vectra, which are these bad robot dudes, they want to use them for meat. They want to use Danny as a harvesting ground for meat, which we learned in issue 1. And so Casey learns that she's actually from Dannyland originally. She's not a human from there. She was a comic book that Danny had made inside the world to entertain everybody there. So she's a comic inside a world, inside a comic in our world. It's so good. So he tells her all this, and it's like, well, now that you're realizing this, then your powers are going to start coming back. And meanwhile, all of this is happening. Larry, who is Negative Man, the negative spirit's not around him anymore. And he's talking with Cliff, and he's telling Cliff that at one point on a beach, during their last big fight, he was taken away and was exposed to this other alien being, and the negative spirit was ripped from him, and the alien is now attached to it, and they've been like running through realities to try to find Larry again. And at the end of it, they find Larry, and the aliens take Larry away. This book is so good. I mean, it's wacky and fun and cool, and it's the kind of story you can only do in like the comic medium. It does not exist anywhere but this world, and they're just using it to its fullest extent. Gerard Way's writing is poetry. I mean, he writes songs, obviously, we all know that, but this comic is as much like music as anything else. And Nick Derington's art is some of the most wonderful, cartoony, fun art. Whenever we actually learn Casey's origin, it looks like an old school book, and like it moves through the Golden Age and the Silver Age. And there's even a Crisis number 7 like cover in it, but with Casey holding her best friend, which is this little alien that always says is Fug. No, she's holding a clown. She's lying. She's holding a clown. But this little alien thing's there. There's a lot. I know that talking about this book sounds sporadic and weird, but that's the way it is, and that's the fun of this book, is that it is sporadic and weird, and you're not really sure what's going to happen next, but you want to, and you just kind of go along with whatever's there. It's just so much fun. There are callbacks to the Morrison run, because Casey goes through this like tunnel of love thing where like the history of the whole team is there. And she sees the Candlemaker, she's Brotherhood of the Dada, she sees the Scissor Men, and like this whole, it's not a sequel to that run, but it's definitely in that same world, and it's just so much fun. I mean, if you're not reading this book, you need to go out and give it a chance. It's only 3 issues in. Find 1 and 2 any way you can. It's one of the best books out right now. That wraps up Doom Patrol number 3. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. And there's a link in the description below for our weekly Stack podcast show, and there'll be more Doom Patrol reviews on there. And we'll see you next week.